You are at an ice cream shop and you have two options, chocolate or vanilla. You want to know if chocolate is bigger than vanilla. Wait, what? Well, that's basically how JavaScript thinks when it compares things. And today, we're going to explore how computers decide if something is bigger, smaller, equal, or just plain different. Welcome back to Elite Tech Club. In this video, we are diving into comparison operators in JavaScript. This is the foundation you need for conditions, which is coming up in the very next video. Okay, so why do we even need comparison operators? Because JavaScript on its own just stores values. But if we want our program to make decisions like should we show a discount? Or should the user get access? Or should I eat the pizza or save it for tomorrow? We need comparisons. Think of comparison operators as the little judges in your code. They tell you whether something is true or false. Equal to. This one checks if two values are equal. Kind of. I say kind of because JavaScript is a bit loose here. This is true. Why? Because JavaScript converts the things behind the scenes. Sneaky, right? Strict equal. This is the one I recommend. It checks both value and type. So this is false because one's a number and the other's a string. This is JavaScript's way of saying, don't play tricks on me. Not equal and strict not equal. Same idea, but the opposite. Not equal checks if two values are different, again loosely. Strict not equal checks if they're really different, both in value and type. Greater than and less than. Easy, just like in math. 10 greater than 5 is true, 2 less than 1 is false. Nothing surprising here. Greater than or equal to and less than or equal to. These are the I'll allow it operators. For example, this is true because, well, 5 is equal to 5, right? Think of it like inclusive comparison. Let's test these out in VS Code. So we begin with equal to console.log 3 equals 3. Next, console.log 3 equals string 3. And finally, console.log 3 equals 8. Let's save it and run our tiny app here. I'll right click and then click on inspect and go to the console tab. Let me also refresh the page. Okay. So here you see that for the first one, we get true. 3 is equal to 3. For the second one, we also get true because, as mentioned, we are loosely comparing these two and the type is not considered. So the values are equal and that's why we get true. And for the last one, we get false because 3 is not equal to 8. Okay, next, strict equal. I'll copy these lines and paste them here and then comment out them. So then I'll save the file. We get the same result, of course, but then if I add another equal sign, so we have 3 equal signs, then we have strict equality check. So here you see that for the first one, let me save it, of course. For the first one, we get true, 3 equals true. For the second one, and that's important, we get false, unlike the previous one, because the values are the same, but the types are different. So one's a number, the other one's a string, so we get false. And for the last one, it's definitely false. Then not equal. So I'll copy and paste these lines and comment out them. Here we need to also replace the operator, and then I'll save the file. So here we want to check whether the values are not equal. So if the values are not equal, we should get true, and if they are equal, we should get false. The first one, 3 is equal to 3, so we get false here. And the last one, 3 is not equal to 8, so we get true. And for the second one, since we are loosely comparing the values and JavaScript converts the string to the number behind the scenes, it's almost like the first comparison expression. So here we are comparing 3 to 3. Since they're equal, again, we get false. Strict, not equal. So again, let's copy and paste these lines, and we need to strictly check whether they are not equal. So I'll save the file. Like the previous one, you see that for the first one, and we get false because 3 is equal to 3, so we get false. And for the last one, 3 is not equal to 8, again, we get true for that. But the difference is here. For the second one, since we are strictly checking both value and type, so we are basically comparing a number with a string, so they are definitely not equal, and then we get true. Then the greater than operator. So this is maybe the easiest one. For example, 2 is greater than 5, then 2 is greater than 2, and finally 2 is greater than 1. Comment out the previous lines, and apparently we should get false for the first one and the second one, and we should get true for the last one. Here I'll save it, and you see that we only get true for this one. 2 is greater than 1, and for the other two we get false. Easy. Less than operator, exactly like the previous one, but the opposite. So here I just changed the operator, and apparently only the first one should be true, and the second and the third one should be false. So I forgot to comment out those lines. Now I'll save it. Yeah, 2 is less than 5, and 2 is not less than 2, and 2 is not less than 1. Greater than or equal to, exactly like greater than. The only difference is that we also include equality. So here we get the exact same result, but for the second one we get true because 2 is greater than or equal to true. So if I save it, so see that for the first one, again, it's false because 2 is not greater than or equal to 5. And for the last one, 2 is greater than or equal to 1. So it's true. And for the second one, again, since it's inclusive, we get true. And same story for less than or equal to. I'll need to replace the operator, and here you see that only the only difference compared to the less than operator is this comparison, that we get true. And for the others, it's crystal clear. 2 is less than or equal to 5, true, and 2 is not less than or equal to 1, so we get false for the third one. So now you've seen how JavaScript compares values. But here's the exciting part. Comparison operators are only the beginning. In the next video, we'll take these true-false results and actually use them to make decisions with if statements. That's when your program really comes alive, choosing paths, running different code, and feeling almost intelligent. If this video helped you, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to Elite Tech Club, because the next step is going to be awesome. Conditions in JavaScript. Drop a comment telling me which operator surprised you the most. Was it the weird equal one or the strict equal? I'd love to know. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.